Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another very brief table spot. We didn't think we are going to be doing another one this soon.
Uh,
Uh,
yeah.
but breaking news, in case you haven't heard, during NXT, after people were dealing with the whole Stephanie McMahon situation, um, WWE has reportedly been sold to
Just
the
that fucking
Saudi
quick.
investment fund. To the Saudi investment fund, several reports going out now. One from let's see, Stephen Musselhausen, and then one from my mind's going blank right now. I'm sorry.
Is that Body Slam?
It's been a long day. Sorry. Yeah, thank you, Body Slam. Cassidy Haynes of Body Slam. They have been sold to Saudi Arabia's Saudi investment fund. What
The actual fuck. What the actual fuck?
I kidding?
First, before I even say it, let me a little bit of this, cause this is a sad ass day. This is a real sad day. We literally just said, one of the worst things that could possibly happen is him selling to a company that has ties with Saudi Arabia. Um, what's going on, Coach? Has ties with Saudi Arabia, and that's exactly what happened. Um, I know we can only speculate of what's to come, but let's be realistic. I don't think anything good is coming out this. First of all, you got to think about how many you have a legit main superstar with your company right now that is running with the biggest storyline of your company that is red hot, who refuses to go perform over there because of his beliefs, and now you've made them his boss.
And of course, to the studio, also Maddie Rains. So let me read this off real quick. This is coming from Body Slams, Cassidy Haynes. Sources have told him that World Wrestling Entertainment has sold the company to the Saudi investment fund. Vince McMahon was placed back on the board of directors, with many under the belief that Vince was looking to sell the company. Now that's become a reality. Not only that, but the public company is now going private under the new ownership. So the Saudi investment fund. I mean, dude, it's where we're talking about based out of Riyadh, like legit. It's done. That's it. That's what we're doing here.
Yeah. Well, at least we know now all the homes around Stamford, Connecticut can go down in pricing since there won't be any more WWE headquarters there. So,
well, it's still gonna be there. They just built a brand new headquarters. They're still moving into that. They're just gonna be a subsidiary of the Saudi government. That's all that's gonna happen.
Yeah, blood money. Oh my god.
I mean, I've been calling the pay-per-view that for years now, y'all.
Yeah, that's
what's new.
Matt's been making the graphics.
Right.
I've been calling it that for years now.
This is crazy.
Another report coming from another reporter. Saudi Arabia's public investment fund company goes back and forth being private. Unknown if Vince McMahon will return to head of creative, but is expected by some people. Also, while this is going on, there were rumors swirling that
Sammy is definitely leaving. So, well, he probably isn't going to leave, but he's not going to be utilized.
Nope.
So yeah, the Trips thing. So Trips reportedly he was being moved from the COO position.
Oh boy.
Wow.
But then that report, I think it was I believe Raj Giri from Wrestling Inc. was kind of tweeting that might be happening, but then he deleted it. So like that's not confirmed yet. But looking at what just happened, you've got to wonder if this is why Steph stepped down.
It's gotta be. It's
Yep.
gotta be. It's most definitely gotta be. You gotta think about this. Steph's big thing was the female locker room.
Yep.
All right. Steph's big thing was the female locker room. Women are now just starting to get some basic rights over there. All right. So what does that do with that whole section of your roster? You're right. Childhood has officially died. Like,
Our childhood has been dead. This is WWF been gone, y'all.
no. I'm not talking. I'm not.
WWF been gone.
I don't think he means by WWF. I think he means by just the nostalgia of
It's been
WWE.
gone.
But no, he means the nostalgia of WWE being like a
That's been
family
gone
bit.
too.
No, being a family business.
All this stuff has been gone. This has been a business since the day they went public. All the way down. They've been public for 20 years now.
But it still had that. It still had that family-owned business feel to it, even though it was public. It still had like you knew the McMahons were the people of WWE.
We hope.
Thursday. No, it is not Thursday.
We hope the McMahons will be there for future generations. But as far honestly, once Vince died, everything was up in the air. If it's not Stephanie or Triple H or Shane, we knew Shane because Shane is just the hated child for some odd reason. Stephanie and Trips. Stephanie took the bullet that Trips probably refused. Is not trying to take. Trips is basically the last person that can really go. He's the head of creative. Trips is going to stay there probably. If Trips was going to stay, if they're actually going to sell to the Saudis, then nothing is going to happen no time soon with people being moved out. I doubt because right now we're in WrestleMania season, they'll let Triple H finish the job he needs to finish for WrestleMania, and then he's going to go. Or he's just going to stay there forever. And because honestly,
we can't speculate. We can't speculate shit anymore. We can't speculate shit anymore because just last week we were saying we don't think this deal gonna get done for like maybe 6 to 9 months and shit like that, and the shit was done in less than 48 hours.
Well, yeah, Vince is trying to get. Vince is just being petty. It's all going by fast, but all this has already been put in place. Vince, all this time, basically from whenever Vince stepped down in July to December, when we saw those letters, from July to December, he's been working on this. That's why everything has happened so quick. There's no way all this just came to fruition instantly. He's had a plan. This is his master plan, and we're seeing it actually be executed, even though we keep saying, oh, he can't possibly do that. He's like, I can.
I'm still one like. So I guess there was no injunction or nothing that the other board members can't do shit now that the company sold.
They unanimously elected him chairman. Whatever they were gonna think to do, done. They already made their decision.
He got rid of every person that would go against him.
Mm-hmm. That's what happened. The people that started the investigation and headed the investigation were the ones that left the board.
And technically, even though, like I said earlier, he has to pay that $19.5 million back, he really doesn't. He doesn't have to do anything. He's the majority shareholder. That's why he's been able to get into power, because he's basically been saying, okay, y'all don't want to let me come back. Guess what? I'm still the majority shareholder. So even if you don't want to let me come back, I'll come back anyway. And if y'all don't let me come back willingly, I'm just gonna fuck everything up. So he's like, either you let me be in, either you let me join, let me come back willingly, and I fuck everything up, or I come back unwillingly, and I still fuck everything up. Either way, everything's gonna get fucked up.
Like Vince, like, and people forget, like, he in his world, which is this WWE, he's a dictator. He's a dictator. He rules with an iron fist. So it goes back to me, like with this news breaking and everything, with him returning to this purchase by to the Saudis. It just thinks that his retirement was just nothing but a big fucking farce.
Well, he
He
said
pulled
got
the he pulled the
coronavirus.
he pulled the Mark Henry on us.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
when he retired, this was in his back pocket. He was just waiting on the right time.
The shit that I really don't understand, and it's it's the part that I guess that baffles me the most, as I like we said, he was a majority shareholder. So even if they told him to step down from the board, he was still a majority shareholder. So which means he's gonna make a good more portion of the money than what anybody else was gonna make, no matter what was going on with WWE.
Mm-hmm.
You see that you are gone and business is picking up. You're getting more you're getting more people to come back to your company. You're getting people who weren't even thinking about coming to your company, possibly coming to your company now. The morale in the locker room is up. Fans are excited to see what's going to happen each week now. Like, everything was honestly trending in an upward more momentum for WWE. Why not just chill, sit back, and collect that check? That's the
But it's
part that
bigger than that.
that's
It's
the
his
part
ego.
that's all
Yep.
it is. It's
$1 billion
his
ego.
ego. It's an ego, and the ego that, like, I'm sorry, like I said, it's just me. You have an ego that big, and you that much of a goddamn spoiled brat kid that you really are on some. Well, if I can't say it, then nobody can. Like, you are really a spoiled fucking brat. Like, this is it's mine. It really baffles me. Like, if somebody told me, yo, Kenny, you can, yo, just leave. You still gonna get paid, especially since the fact that you own most of this damn company anyway. You still gonna get a good amount of all money that you've been getting. We just don't think you the right person to sit in the limelight.
Hell
All
no,
right,
because
all right. So am I gonna stay the same? Okay,
what
okay.
you gotta think though. What you gotta think though, Kenny. We're talking about a man here who believes in his heart of hearts that wrestling is what it is because of him.
Yeah,
Like the whole landscape of wrestling, from the early '80s when he took over till now, everything that has transpired, the way wrestling is because of him.
I mean, technically,
Again,
that's true because he
it
won
is
it.
true.
When you're the
It
winner.
is.
When you're the winner,
yeah,
you get to rewrite history.
yeah. So everything that transpired is because of him. Because what he's done. This company is global because of him. So you've made billions of dollars. That comes with a $1 billion ego. It
Oh
comes with a
yeah,
$1 billion ego.
you missed it earlier, Mike. I made an analogy that fucking Vince McMahon was Carter Peterson from Family Guy, Peter Lois's father.
Yeah, yeah. That's exactly
Um,
who he is.
Reggie,
Well,
what
that
you
means
missed is what you
that means
missed
we should
is
just read it at the bottom.
right. WWE is sold, brother.
Reportedly,
So
WWE is
reportedly.
sold.
yeah,
So
we're saying that because until the company itself makes the
Makes an
announcement,
announcement.
you can't official, but like uh, again, multiple sites are confirming it. If this is something that if you're a sports betting kind of person, this might make you believe the situation. Sean Ross at Fightful just tweeted Bovado, which sent Fightful betting odds just hours ago on who would buy WWE, is no longer taking bets on it.
They should have never been giving bets on it to begin with. But
No, they shouldn't have. But the fact that that's stopped now, like, okay, the gate's closed. Like, it's not
right.
That's not good. I'm kind of stunned.
Someone asked, will we still be watching? But Mongo, I know you have to because of other obligations.
Yeah,
I know you have to be right. Like, it's your job. You have to because it's your job. The rest of us, though, we watch WWE because of out of enjoyment and to keep this podcast as updated and abreast as much as possible. Now that this is going on, and we each have our own personal feelings toward this, how much more of WWE do you think each of you will be watching?
I will watch the required amount. I will watch what I'm supposed to. There is too much good wrestling around to, like, if you can't do it morally, you've got a lot of options.
Yeah.
So, and I understand anybody that says they can't do it anymore. I 100% understand it. You should not feel bad about that. That is something that, yeah.
Me personally, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to completely go cold turkey on WWE. I'm not going to sit here and say that. I'm 41 years old. I've been watching WWE since I was probably about 4 or 5, I guess. Like, I've been watching them my whole entire life. Okay, I've watched tons of other companies and other promotions, and I've always had WWE in my back pocket to come back to. Will I watch as much as what I am now? I really don't think so. I think I'm more maybe catch more of a highlight type of situation now than when before I was more invested in the entire show. But I'm still going to do enough to where you guys are tuning in every week to watch us. But I don't think I can be as invested as I once was. I know I can't.
I mean, I won't feel obligated to watch. Like, if for me, it'd be more so if I'm in a mood to tune in. It'd be a couple weeks where I'll be like, you know what, I don't feel like watching, and it'll be a couple weeks where I'll watch consecutively. But that's just my personal feelings about wrestling in general. But I mean, I'm not gonna. I don't feel hurt by this, Like, I don't feel bothered by this, because, like I said earlier, with Vince being a dictator, this isn't shocking. None of this is shocking to me. So it'll be more on, as far as me tuning in, it'll be more on how I feel that week.
To answer this real quick, honestly, it has nothing to do with the creative change. The reason people are upset really has nothing to do with creative at this point. Honestly, we might not see a change. It might just be we might just stay on the same path we're on right now. It might
That's
not
all. That's why. That's what I really think is going to happen, because at the end of the day, this is honestly, as much as we hate Vince McMahon, a lot of people are putting all this hatred. They're looking at Mr. McMahon, the character. They're not looking at Vince McMahon, the businessman. There's a reason he is a billionaire, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
He's here to make money. That's what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally all. His whole goal from all these letters has been, I know the media rights sale is the media rights are up. I want to be there for the negotiation. Please let me be there for the negotiations. Now they responded and said, we would welcome you since you are the founder, and who would know the company better than anybody else than you? They did agree on that, but they did say, with the way everything is happening right now, it would not be right for you to return, even though it makes sense for you to be here to help us. That's why that left a crack in the door, because they admitted nobody else knows it better than him. So he's here. Like, I honestly feel nothing is going to change.
Well,
except the person who signs their paychecks.
Not nothing. So it's gone private now.
Right. It's
what that means is a lot of things that were done with the company, whether it was changing the product, changing blood, doing different things creatively versus and doing different things, in terms of business, they were answering to shareholders for everything they did or didn't do.
Right. Some of your favorite companies are private. They're just publicly private.
Yes. So now that is, if this is what's happened, that's not a concern anymore. They're not answering to shareholders.
It's
right.
This will be whatever, who runs the creative and who is in charge of what the creative is. Whatever they want to do, that's what they're going to do.
And once they go private, when a company goes private, they really go private. Like, you don't know anything about them. Like, at the job I work at, just dealing with private companies, they're so private. Like, you don't even know what they're trading at. You have to hit up
things have to leak
somebody
for that stuff to come out. Yeah.
You have to hit up somebody that is basically a liaison between our company and between the private company, to ask them, hey, what is your last quoted stock price? Because if you type in, like, my job, we don't handle WWE, but if we did, and I would type in WWE, right now it will say whatever they're trading for. If they go private, it's going to say PVT private. Then that means I got to email somebody.
I want to touch back on, if you don't mind, I want to touch back on this for a hot second. Even if it's just a change of ownership, let's say, listen, by no means am I referring to the country nor the people of Saudi Arabia in any bad way. Okay, but I'm just going to use an analogy so that way maybe I can put into perspective what a possible response could be for that answer. If you have someone who is dealing in bad intentions, okay, and they come and buy your company, and they come and buy a company that you work with, and their intentions do not go with your morals, your religious factor, or anything like that. Even if they're giving you money, do you still stay with that company? That, I think, this comes in with a couple of people within WWE where we're going, well, they may leave or whatever the case may be. Yes, creative may not change. You're absolutely right. The people still may be on a path to be champions. We still may have the same storylines, whatever the case may be. But people do have morals, and people do have their own code of ethics. And people are going to be like, hey, is it worth me giving up what I believe in to work for this company now? That's where I think the major issue is. I don't think it has, like you guys are saying, I don't think it has a lot to do with creative just as of yet, because we don't know who's going to be in charge or anything like that. I think it has a lot to do with, from what people have seen and what people have known with the dealings that have been going on in that region, in that area, and it does not appeal with a lot of the locker room's moral and ethic beliefs. So that's why they have so much confrontation, which is why so many people refuse to go over and do that show once a year, because it goes against what they believe in. So it's not like like we said, creative may not change. We don't know. But I think that's where the big problem is. A lot of people are thinking about their ethics
Everybody
and
is
their
jumping to
morals.
conclusions.
But it's not a point of jumping to conclusions when if someone like you got a guy like Sami Zayn who doesn't go over there for his religious belief and ethical beliefs. There are other people who believe like him.
I'm not talking about the people like for people like Sammy. I'm not worried about them. Like they can. I'm not worried about them being any type of mistreated or any type of fishy stuff happening with them. I'm talking about everybody just saying like, oh, well, now we're about to see Goldberg and Stone Cold and all these people. We were going to see Goldberg and Stone Cold and every other old name known to man, regardless of who owned this company. Because, like it or not, y'all love those people, and they bring in ratings. But Sammy, folks like that, I feel like Sammy is just going to keep his head down, mind his business. If they go over there, he'll do. He ain't gonna go.
He won't go. Yeah.
He won't go. But
Heyman won't go.
he's gonna finish out his contract because a lot of these folks, they're in the middle of contracts. They're not gonna go anywhere.
Didn't Sammy recently resign?
Yeah.
Yeah, him and KO.
Let's see. In what 2022?
I believe so.
2021.
Now,
I think it was during. Was it during It was like right after when they started letting fans back
it
in.
was after fans came back that he resigned.
Yeah,
And,
I think it was like right after fans came back in.
Sonya Shannon, like that is
been over
something
there
that people
anyway.
are. Yeah, they weren't. But that's something that's like, like I showed that Effie tweet about it being like a gay rights issue, and that it is. That is what it is for a lot of people. Because that is still an issue over there.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Disgustingly so. And that's where, I'm not going to claim to know a lot about like otherworldly politics or like, across the country, but or across the ocean. I'm not going to claim to be that kind of like worldly person. But I have quite a good amount of friends that are gay or LGBTQ plus. I can't support that. I can't do it. I probably won't be buying any merch. You know what I mean? Like I'll do what I'm doing, what I'm asked to do, to a point. But I'm already not really able to do much work right now anyway. So I really don't know how I'm going to feel in a few days. Once it's like all settles and it's official, I don't know how I'm going to feel. But
And honestly, this is really the best. This is the best bet they had possible, because even though like everybody was saying, oh, they should sign up with Disney. Disney's not touching this company within a 10-foot pole. Not with the owner and founder under sexual assault allegations. Not when he's paid over basically $20 million, because I'm tired of saying 19 and a half. $20 million in hush money. Like Warner Brothers Discovery wasn't going to talk. They definitely aren't, because they ain't got no money to begin with. They too busy over here worried about people like Dwayne The Rock Johnson lying about shit. That's a whole other story. And then what was it? Who was the other company? Oh, NBC Universal. They were not going to touch WWE. Yes, they have the media rights right now, but
I got a question. Are we getting WWE Network back then?
no.
Because I'm wondering about that. Like, because isn't WWE Network still used over in Saudi Arabia?
it's used. I don't know if it's used in Saudi Arabia. It's used anywhere that's not
US.
the U.S.
Right, the U.S. We're stuck
The
with
U.S.
Peacock.
is exclusively we're stuck with Peacock. Because
And they
deal with
have it.
NBC.
And they have it where even if you try to use other means to look at WWE Network, it will still block it.
Yep, use a
They have-
VPN, can't do it.
They have figured it out that it can block a VPN, so you have
Now,
to get Peacock.
I don't think we covered this as it was happening when we did this earlier. So I want to bring this up. This letter that came out about a fiduciary lawsuit against Vince after he got himself on the board last week. Dave Schur of PW Insider was sent this email from a friend who is party in the WWE shareholder derivative suit that was filed last June by Scott and Scott. Here's the email from the lawyers with names redacted to ensure privacy. And then it cuts down to this section. You also may have seen the news this past week about Vince McMahon forcing his way back onto the board, along with a major board shakeup. As a result, we believe there is enough of a basis to bring a breach of a fiduciary lawsuit. We hope to file a complaint against McMahon and possibly other directors, officers, for breaching their duties to WWE and its shareholders. We should have a draft for you to review in the next couple of days. This was
too late for that.
This was reported today, 10 hours ago.
And Vince probably knew about it way before this.
So
Probably been known.
So if we're like, why did this happen so fast?
That's why.
That's why. It was all a chess game that Vince was like 5 moves ahead on.
Right. Like,
so, folks, but if y'all are just morally, if y'all just can't do it, it's understandable. It's understandable. And if you're someone that's going to watch because you've always watched and you know it's on, it's just something you've done since you were a kid, that's understandable too. Like, I'm not going to go like rag on you for either side. But it's a shitty situation, and when people start falling off of it, this is why.
And in my personal opinion,
you never got.
We got this. Besides that, I didn't mind about being sidetracked. I mean, I'm gonna watch Top Rope, Under the Ring. It's not like y'all watch anyway because the threads are dead. So
show up.
Yeah, because y'all show up and tell us Ricochet and Samantha are getting engaged. You show up to tell us about every other stupid ass video from the Attitude era. Y'all can let that era die. There is wrestling after 2000. There is wrestling after 2004. Stop talking about ruthless aggression era too. But yeah, I'll continue to watch. I don't know about the people in our groups because the way the threads look, I don't think anybody is watching. So, but I'll be here. And some folks will probably be like, well, it's going to be owned by the Saudis. Guess what? Some of your favorite sports teams are owned by evil people. We saw Donald Sterling and the Clippers just a few years ago. We just saw Robert Sarver get kicked out from he's being forced to sell the Suns. We saw a few years back the Hawks had to be sold. We saw the shit happen in the NFL. There's evil people everywhere. And more likely than not, they're rich. Obscenely rich. And they own shit. That's why they get to be rich assholes.
And, when it's all said and done, we live in a world of what have you done for me lately? And when it comes to these two entities, they've made a lot of money together over the past few years.
They've made millions
upon millions of dollars.
And there's like a 10-year deal with them, ain't there? Ain't there like a 10-year deal with them? Pay-per-view?
When did that start? 2020? When? 2017?
We should be getting ready to be getting. We should be. We're past the halfway point.
So it makes all the sense in the world why these two entities will conduct in this transaction.
He had no choice. Because the Saudis are the only people who just flat out don't give a fuck. They don't care about sexual assault. Because what is sexual assault to them? That ain't nothing. Right. Because as far as they're concerned, men control everything. Men are always right. They don't care what the woman has to say in their community.
Yeah, it was 2018 because that's when Khashoggi's
Shit, we're
like,
at the halfway point.
yeah, we're at the halfway point. So I'm not shocked. Like, that's the part that doesn't shock me, because all the other companies I mentioned have morals. They do not have morals. They do not care. That's why they have a whole golf tour now.
LIV.
Like, they
The
don't
LIV,
care.
yeah. By the way, LIV and WWE now same fucking subsidiary. That's same people on them.
Like, they took the brunt of that, and it kind of just put everybody. It put a line in the sand. It's like, hey, you want to be in the PGA Tour and be right, or do you want to go make this motherfucking money over here in the Live Tour? You want to make this money? And you see a lot of people, they're like, a lot of people have just flat out said, money talks. And that's where I'm over here for the money. I don't care what they do. They said they paying me a lot, so I'm showing up. Phil Mickelson.
It's we'll just have to. This is a wait and see situation, I guess. We'll see where this, because before we were thinking, we didn't even get to see the Steph Trips Nick Khan trio do Royal Rumble. Like, what's going to happen now? Now, like, that's not even at the front of your mind.
They've done all this. They've sold, and they haven't even gotten to the media rights. And the whole point, the whole meat and potatoes of this was
about media
rights.
I
want to help the media rights, and then try to sell.
How does this help media rights? So, I don't know. It does feel like Vince got furious that they were doing fine without him.
That's exactly what it is, yo.
That's what it feels like. He's just so like, wait, they're doing well that I'm.
You know what it was?
Out there.
It was like Reggie said, yo. It was Vince with a hurt locker in the background and said, "Oh fuck this, hell no, we're not bringing every goddamn body back. I'm coming back." Vince got pissed. It was hurt business and fucking Jonah. That was the breaking point for Vince. He couldn't take no more.
The breaking point was him having to say he was retired. That was the breaking point, because he swore up and down he was never going to retire, and then out of nowhere he just randomly said, "Well, I think it's time for me to retire."
Time to retire. I can't wait to watch the Pat McAfee show tomorrow. Holy shit!
If Warner Brothers Discovery can keep them on the channel.
At this point,
has their own issues, but
right.
It looks like, I mean, right now with how this is done and how this affects people, because you got to realize that like people that are like our age and younger are so affected by the politics of everything. Like, they take it so seriously.
Yeah. And
it affects their wallet and where that money's placed more than any other generation, it feels like. So either one of three things happens. One, nothing fucking changes. Two, fans go to AEW, Impact maybe, or they start watching other stuff. Like, there are other options to watch, and they'll just do that, and then those fans just get spread out into other companies. Three, and this is the part that would really suck, when WCW died, a lot of those fans didn't go to WWE. They just quit watching.
Yeah,
they just stopped wrestling altogether.
So what happens if that's what happens? Well, all I liked was WWE. I didn't like anything else, and so I'm just not going to watch anything else. How many of those fans, or like the consistent 1.7 million people that were watching every show?
You also gotta think about this, like you said, how many of those fans are gonna watch, and when you get people that just up and up quit and don't watch wrestling anymore, like when WCW died, the business becomes stale. What makes the business so popular and popping is competition. Because think about it, WWE was very, very stale for a very long time. Until it happened, there was a rival promotion that made them kind of step their game up a little bit.
Yeah. And here's the thing that I want everybody, and y'all know this, and we've preached this before. For those of you that are watching, social media is not a meter to determine whether this is going to work or not. Because, and this is a perfect example, I don't give a shit about the Avatar movies. I could give a fuck about how those do. I don't care.
Right.
I've never cared about them. Most people that I know don't care about them. And if you were on Twitter when that thing was getting promoted and before it came out, how many people were like, "Oh, wow, we even see this? Who wants to see it? Who cares?"
And then
One of the largest grossing movies ever made. Again, 10 years after the original.
Somebody's going to see it.
Right.
Kenny.
Here's the bottom dollar.
Kenny.
Casual viewers don't fucking know that WWE got sold to Saudi Arabia. They don't know.
And
they do not know, and they do not care. All it is oh, wrestling's on. Boom. That's it.
Yep.
And that is the cold hard fact of how it is.
It's just like there are people that are AEW fans that have no damn clue that Tony Khan is part owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well, they found that shit out. They found that shit out this weekend with his ass running all over the field, hugging all over everybody.
They probably just be like, "Oh, he hugging on that football player. Why he hugging on him? Oh, his dad owns the team. Oh man, that's cool."
That's another thing. If the Jags win the Super Bowl, does WWE give them a belt? Like they do everybody else?
I saw
that should be funny. That should be funny to have Tripp sitting there doing the finger.
They ain't gonna win this year. We know damn right they ain't gonna win this year.
That shit will be funny to have fucking Tripp doing the finger point at TK with the belt in his head.
Like I saw somebody tweet that, like, wouldn't that be funny? And immediately I was like, that's what I want to happen. I have to see that. Like I want to see that, or I want to see the Bills win for the feel good story. Outside of that, I don't give a shit. But I would love to see that.
Someone said they'll probably what someone said would happen is AEW will probably come up. AEW will probably give him like a TNT title or AEW title, and because what usually happens when a team wins the title anyway, wins the championship, we see that WWE title, but we really never really see them holding it except at the parade. But by then it's like, oh, okay, you holding a title. It's like nobody really cares at the parade besides wrestling fans. Like, for wrestling fans, seeing someone holding that title was going to be cool. For the people that are just there, that are fans of the team, they're just going to be like, oh, it's a title belt. No, I'll talk about the Jags. Good. I don't care about them right now.
So, all right. We ended up doing it like over an hour's worth of shit today.
We still got more to talk about Thursday.
We're going to wrap this up. We're going to talk more about everything that comes out. Look, bottom line is, again, it's reportedly this is the deal. We could wake up tomorrow and it not even be true.
Right.
I don't think that's the case. I'm pretty sure it happened, but until WWE or the fucking Wall Street Journal are like, this is officially what the deal. I don't know. I don't know. So, Kenny, you're reading this shit this time. I'm tired.
No problem. Don't forget to follow us at facebook.com/undertheringpod and twitch.tv/undertheringpod. You can also follow us on our Twitters at Greg Bush SK. You can follow me, Rock Ribs 44. You can follow Mike at Mr. Freshbeard. Follow Matt at The Right Answer. Follow our street team captain, Boriel Maliente, and our correspondent, Justin D. Baxley. Don't forget, folks, we also have a link tree /Under the Ring Pod, where you can find all of our links where you can be able to up with all of us. And we got one more comment. Half of the A-Rod will go roster, et cetera, et cetera. That's probably the biggest part of the fallout that's going to happen. And let's face it, man, Saudi will change a lot, which fans, except from Saudi fans, will go to the shows. I mean, we don't know. We
Like I
don't
said,
know.
we just until like this happened. This just happened, and
Right
we
now,
just
this is
don't
just
know
a rumor.
right now.
It's rumored that they're sold. We could, like Mongo said, we could wake up and nothing has happened. We could go by many more weeks and nothing has been announced. Because honestly, they could go weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks without saying without saying anything. And the
if
perfect
it's
place to make
private,
an announcement.
If it's
Yeah,
private, they ain't got to tell nobody shit.
I think that's a damn thing.
They ain't got to say a
Yeah.
fucking thing.
And honestly, right now they don't have to say anything because honestly, the perfect time to say anything is in Los Angeles during WrestleMania, either night 1 or night 2. Announce it in between night 1 and night 2.
I'll say
It
this
would.
though. If
I
this
think it'd
fucks
have been
up
a
Sam
smarter
Uso, I'm
move.
gonna be pissed. If it
Yeah.
messes up Sam Uso, I'm gonna be pissed.
Here's the
I'm gonna
thing,
be
like
pissed.
they could have done this without us knowing, and I don't think we'd have had a big. We'd have been as upset.
We
The
wouldn't have
fact
noticed.
that
We
the
wouldn't have
fact that
noticed anyway.
the fact because Matt, you brought it up before. A lot of companies that we like basis are owned by people or other bigger companies that we are not fans of or whatever the case may be. The fact that this was brought to the light and the way it was brought to the light is making a lot of people angry as well. You know what I mean?
All right. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. We will see night 1 in LA, night 2 in Saudi Arabia. Jesus Christ.
Everybody's on Brock's private. Everybody's on Brock's private plane.
Ain't no much. And everybody gonna be flying nice over there if they all employees of the government now.
Unless anything stupid happens, we'll see y'all Thursday. Until then, y'all be easy. Peace.